challenge for you, no Dex, and dealing with all these injuries to start with?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, it's tough to replace a guy like Dex. I mean, everybody faces injuries. We got to hopefully have guys step up and take advantage of their opportunities. And again, it's kind of a revolving door a little bit right now, just different spots, different pieces. Obviously, D-line will kind of sort out through the week where we're at. But again, great opportunity for these younger guys who have been here, who have practiced, who have worked on the show team at times throughout the year. So they're going to have to go out there and play.
With among those defensive linemen, you're kind of looking to really step up and fill some of those roles?
I think all of them are in play right now, to be honest with you. So we'll kind of see where this thing goes as the week goes here with DJ, with Nacho. Then obviously Chat's been up, Jordan's been up. You got Casey Rogers, you got Garcia, and then we just signed Corey from the Rams. So, I mean, I think all those guys are in play right now, and we'll kind of see where we're at these next few days.
With those injuries, I mean, specifically Dexter, that's a lot of leadership that's you guys don't have. Is that an opportunity for some of the younger guys like Newman and Phillips to kind of have their voice be heard?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're always trying to evolve that leadership, especially in the young guys, and develop that. That's part of being a coach, is to foster that a little bit, especially with the guys that can handle it. I think you got to be careful. There's certain guys that can take on a little bit more in that role, and there's other guys who probably aren't ready for that just yet. But yeah, absolutely. I think within the position group, especially like who rises in the group, the D-line group with Dex out, where's that voice go? Nacho's been a good leader for us. But again, we're going to have guys step up in a variety of ways. Their play style, and obviously the leadership, the communication, everything else that comes into play.
Who do you think is ready to step up for that?
Hopefully all of them. It's the plan. They've all been working hard. So I'm excited. Whoever gets out there, I'm excited to see him go play.
With Chapman, what do you see from him so far as he's kind of adjusting this rookie season?
Yeah, I thought he's done some good things. I mean, he's been in there primarily for us on passing situations, third down, and he's been able to be coordinated and run some games, do some different things with Burns, been able to get some push in the pocket for us. He's a powerful, explosive kid. So when he's able to get out of his stance and get going, he's got some length to him despite being a little bit shorter. He went in there last week. I mean, we lost all those guys. We were down 3D linemen not even halfway through a third quarter, and him and Jordan really had to finish the game for us, right? So they went in there and battled. So just hopefully continue to take the next step with him, and he's going to have opportunities this week, a little bit more on first, second down, just because where we're at.
You get one sack in the last 4 games. Why do you think that's dropped off?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like last week we got some pressure on him when we had some passing situations. I mean, we were close. I think Burns tipped one as he was throwing it. KT was right there close one time where he potentially could have reached and got it off of him. So there's been some opportunities. I think just making sure we take advantage of the opportunities when it is truly drop back pass and we can pin our ears back and go. Got to continue to evolve and progress our ability to transition and affect the quarterback in the play action game, getting a lot of play action passes, run, pat, boot, early down type of passing game, and continuing to find ways to get to the quarterback there where he can't hold it. But again, just continue to work together, be coordinated, understand overlaps, understand when we can take our two-way goes and win, find ways to free up Burns and KT, right? They're usually trying to get a chip, something on them out the gate, and when they don't, hopefully they can go ahead and take advantage and win.
What do you think of the season Bobby has had? What does being without him mean?
Yeah, I think he's been good. I mean, he's been solid for us, a leader, runs the show for us, gets guys lined up, makes plays when they're there for us. He's done a good job lately here attacking the football. He's got 3 forced fumbles here recently, and the one last week was inches away on the goal line from being a forced fumble. So he's taking advantage of opportunities there to get his hands on footballs, use his length. So we'll kind of see where he's at here these next couple of days.
His tackling numbers are actually, I think, a little bit low down this year from last year. Because what do you think that attributes to?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I mean, how dramatic is it? Is it like dramatic?
Solo tackle is pretty dramatic.
Solo tackle's pretty dramatic? Yeah.
More combined.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think he's flying around being productive when he's out there. He's doing everything we ask of him.
What do you think about if he's not able to play? Is Darius someone who's ready to do the green dot, or would you rather like lean on someone like Micah, who obviously has more experience in this league?
Yeah, Bobby can't go. I mean, I feel comfortable with both of them. They both have had to be able to do it, right? They both battled injuries throughout the year, so they've always been kind of the next guy. Whether it was Darius out and Micah was the next guy that would have to take that role, right? Or Darius been out throughout the season and Micah would have to take that role. So I feel comfortable with both those guys.
Obviously, the lack of interceptions has been a story, but Tyler came here with this like ball hawking reputation in college. Is there something you've seen why it hasn't translated yet to this level?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's been down a lot for us, right? He's been down in the box. He's been down around the ball a little bit more down there than truly just back in the post where he can track and do some of that. I think that might contribute a little bit to it. And I think anytime you got these young guys, like, it's the fine line between being able to go out there and execute and do your job, and there's a lot going on, right? And they're not rookies anymore. They played a lot of ball, but it's almost like we got to continue to develop them and get them to the point where it's execution and do my job, but let's not lose our playmaking ability, right? Like, there's a fine line, and I think as guys get more comfortable playing and you get a little bit more mature and have more experience, the instincts grow. The finding the ball grows a little bit more because the game starts to slow down a little bit. So I think with those young guys, it's just continue to develop those guys to where they're not hindering their playmaking ability by being so locked in on obviously doing their job and executing the defense and being in that role, but also being able to go make plays and go be a football player.
As defensive coordinator, can you take away something from a team if you want to, such as they have Kamara and Miller up the middle, you're kind of weak in the middle? Can you set up your defense to take that away and say, beat me with the pass?
Yeah, I mean, you got different things. It's really what you want to live with, right? I mean, I think each week as you game plan, that's a big part of it. Personnel is a huge part of it, who they have. I mean, whether it's a big-time receiver, whether it's a good running back, potential receiving running back out of the backfield, I think that's a big part of what you do. I think for us, as we go into a game plan, particularly in a week when you're dealing with some moving parts, there's a fine line of, let's make sure these guys can get out there and get lined up and go play and not try to do too much to put the guys who really haven't been out there as much as some of these other guys in a vulnerable position, because we're asking them to do a lot of things that they haven't done, right? So I think there's a fine line as coaches. We got to kind of determine and feel that throughout the week of our comfort level based on their comfort level as the week goes. But ultimately, you're trying, as a defensive unit, we're trying to hopefully minimize their strengths, right? Find ways to take away their strengths.
How can you stop the run better? You have to start selling out more into the box, kind of? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think if you go back and look, I mean, I think there's a lot of post-safety defense. I don't know if a lot of these runs have been split safety where we're down a body. You know what I'm saying? So I think just continue to work our fits, work our technique, work our fundamentals. We got to tackle, again, X-play runs, like especially the past 2 weeks. Like, you go into Tampa, and I want to say they had 32 for 150 with a 56-yarder, right? So you take the 56-yarder away, and it's 5, or even say it's 15, right? It's a dramatically different average yards per carry. So, I mean, there's a lot of good in there. There is a lot of good. We just, those 4 to 5 snaps a game, whether it be a missed tackle, a misfit, being able to crack replace and show up on the edge, those are just costing us, and those things are turning into a little bit longer than we would like.
What do you take away from the tackling in the first half when you went and watched it last week?
Yeah, I think staying on our feet, like making sure we're staying on our feet, casting the net, not letting our feet die on contact. Like, these runners are strong. Like, your feet die on contact, you end up falling off, right? So trying to stay on our feet, get as many cleats in the ground as we can, keep these guys up. Like, whenever you're going to the ground, trying to go to the ground to make a tackle is probably not going to end well, right? mean, just basic technique and fundamentals in the open field, being able to close the space, come to balance, not have your base too wide where you can step to contact. You get wide with your base, all of a sudden he goes to move one way and that foot comes back in. So you're wasting 2 steps and then you're forced to lunge to try to make it, and it turns into an arm tackle. So I think eyes, leverage, base are vital in tackling. Because I think they're trying to get there. The angles haven't been brutal. There's been a few that have been tough angles, especially when you get in the open field. But I think the point of contact, being able to stay on our feet and run our feet on contact where we're not falling off and letting these guys get through some of these arm tackles, because they turn into arm tackles as soon as your feet go dead.
What happened on that 2nd and 21 run, the 22-yard?
Yeah, so we were split safety on that one. Back to your previous point, got to show up. Like, we got to be able to play with technique and fundamentals and constrict the space a little bit more. But we got to show up. We got 2 inside pieces, and in a perfect world, we got to get that thing spilled and get over the edge, get over the safety, not let it crease us in split safety defense.